And you're right in time for an update on what's happening right here in the country, the region and beyond. This is K24's Newscut. My name is Samuel Njoroge and our sign language interpreter for this bulletin will be Clement Muli. Now straight on, we take you to Mombasa, where police have identified the occupants of a saloon car which slipped off the ramp of the Likoni ferry and plunged into the deep sea last evening. Now, according to the latest information released by police in Likoni, the Toyota ISIS vehicle registration number KCB 289C was being driven by 35-year-old Mariam Kigenda, accompanied by her 4-year-old daughter Amanda Mutheo, when it reversed and plunged into the Indian Ocean at around 6:15 on Sunday evening. Right, and moving on now is that today marks the last day for anyone with a 1,000 Kenya shillings note to return it to the banks in exchange for the new generation currency. By the end of today, the old 1,000 shilling note will cease to be legal tender and inevitably lose its monetary value. Already a number of businesses have ceased accepting the old notes, and a 3-judge bench on Friday refused to extend the deadline set by CBK Governor, that is Patrick Njoroge. And for an update on this particular story, we've got our reporter Jimmy Mbogo, who's joining us live to just tell us how the situation is on the ground. Jimmy? We will be getting back to Jimmy in just a short while. Those are some of the realities of live television. Now, we move on to yet another story that has been making headlines for the better part of the hour, where CS Education, that is George Magoha, today gave an update on the transfer of learners from institutions that have been deemed not to be fit for learning to other institutions. And here now is our reporter Brenda Cheruiyot, who joins us with an update in as far as what the CS has been in a position to say. Brenda, I can see you are at Ayana Estate Primary School. What did Cabinet Secretary Magoha say in as far as the ongoing transfer is concerned?
Well, Education Cabinet Secretary Professor George Magoha was just here a few minutes ago just to see learners settling in from these schools which are deemed not suitable for learning. Well, currently as we are speaking, 25% of schools countrywide have been deemed not suitable for learning, and students in these schools have been relocated to other schools, public primary schools. Well, as we are speaking here in Nairobi County, especially this area, the 4 schools which were closed recently following the tragedy that happened at Precious Talent School in Dagoretti South. Well, from these schools we had 500 children who have to be distributed to all these other public schools, while 240 of them are settled here in Ayani Primary School. Some of them have come with their school uniforms from the previous schools and joining the rest of the learners. And we visited earlier on Ngong Forest, where 30 pupils are expected to settle in at that school. Well, we saw about 8 of them have already been taken in, and those are candidates who are expected to be sitting for this year's KCPE national examination. And also across we had a satellite primary school where 10 students are expected to be taken to that school, which we are yet to visit. And from here we are expecting the Education CS, who is touring currently Jamhuri Primary School, will be visiting Forest Primary School in Dagoretti. Sam.
Thank you so much, Brenda Cheriot, for that update live from Ayani Estate Primary School. It is an update that has been given by Cabinet Secretary Education, that is Professor George Magoha, and we shall be running more details by you during our subsequent bulletins. Now, Deputy President William Ruto has told ODM leader Raila Odinga to prepare for a titanic battle and defeat in the forthcoming Kibra by-election slated for November 7th. The Deputy President, who spoke at Kapseret, Uasin Gishu County on Sunday, said he will lead Jubilee campaigns to deliver the seat for party candidate MacDonald Mariga and challenged Odinga to show what he has done for the people of Kibra in the last 10 years. Here's Apollo Kamau with that report.
The bare-knuckled statement on ODM leader Raila Odinga by the Deputy President puts Kibra at the heart of a high-stakes political battle and a supremacy decider between the two leaders who have been touted as front-runners for the 2022 presidential contest. Ruto, while speaking at Kapseret in Uasin Gishu County on Sunday, charged at Odinga, telling him to prepare for defeat as he will personally lead Jubilee campaigns to deliver the Kibra parliamentary seat.
Na sisi wote tunaamini ya kwamba Jubilee hii tutashinda ile kura ya pale Kibra. Hiyo kura ni ya Jubilee. Sisi wote tutahamia huko tufanye campaign mpaka tuhakikishe kwamba hiyo kitu inakuja Jubilee.
Since the campaigns kicked off, ODM, still unhappy with President Uhuru Kenyatta for endorsing Mariga, maintains it has the bragging rights and will deliver the seat as Kibra is Odinga and party's stronghold. But the Deputy President challenged Odinga to show what he has done for Kibra in the last 10 years.
Ile mtu ya kitendawili alishindwa na mambo ya Kibra. Kibra sisi ndio tumeenda tukajenga barabara, tukajenga mpaka choo. Unajua kama mahali hakuna choo jameni, na wengine hata hawana aibu, wanasema ati hiyo ni bedroom ya mtu fulani. Sasa bedroom ya mtu fulani hakuna choo mpaka serikali inaenda kujenga choo kwa pole.
Jubilee also read the Riot Act to nominate the MP Minor Commander and Chief Administrative Secretary in the Ministry of Youth Affairs, Rachel Shebesh, for demanding the party candidate and supporting ODM's Imran Okoth.
Na tunataka kushukuru rais ya kutupea sisi jamii ya Waluya Mariga kuwa candidate yetu. Na wakale wote wale muko Kibira, Waluya wote, kabila zote, candidate ni Mariga.
We want to tell them our president is of sound mind. If President Uhuru has anything to tell us, he will say it himself or he will send his deputy.
On Sunday, Mariga was in Kibra, where he intensified his campaigns, promising to pick up where the late Kibra MP Ken Okoth left. Apul Kamau, K24 Newscast.
Now, after 25 years in circulation, tonight, the 1,000 Kenya shillings old note will be rendered invalid. And we're now joined by our reporter, Jimmy Mbogo, who will be giving us an update in as far as what is happening on the ground. How is this being received by Kenyans and banks across the country? And he now joins us live for an update in as far as that is concerned. Jimmy, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. Kindly bring us up to speed with what you've prepared for us this far.
Indeed, thank you very much, Sam. Yes, we're currently in one of the banking halls right here in Nairobi, just trying to see what is currently happening with regards to the exchange of the old 1,000 shillings note. From what we've been able to understand is the fact that the transactions are currently as normal as you would expect. Something that had actually been told, something that we had actually been told earlier on by the Kenya Bankers Association CEO, that is Mr. Habi Lolaka, who said from where they stand, there's nothing out of the ordinary in terms of transaction, in terms of customers who are lining up to come and exchange the money. And if my cameraman could just show you on my right, there's a place where in this specific bank, they have set up a small stand where customers who are doing any transaction below 50,000 shillings, bringing in the older 50,000 shillings, they can be able to get assistance. And for those who actually have the new currency, they can go right ahead and self deposit in the ATM that have currently been configured to accept only the new 1,000 shillings note. Sam, remember today is actually one of those days that we were expecting a lot of customers to walk into banks to try and beat the deadline, as it is commonly known, where Kenyans actually react at the very last minute. One of the things that has been said and has been repeated by the central bank governor is the fact that there will be no extension of this period. So from this end, what I can actually report to you, Sam, is the fact that normal transactions are currently going on. We're seeing customers walking in and depositing their money, where they're bringing in their old 1,000 shillings note and getting that amount deposited to their bank accounts. Now, the procedure was pretty simple, Sam. As long as you have the old 1,000 note, you were required to just bring these notes to any bank. Remember, any amounts below 5 million, you were supposed to go and deposit these amounts to your bank account or any other bank. For those who do not have specific bank accounts in any of the local banks, you're supposed to bring this money, go and deposit it to any bank, and you will be assisted. But for anyone who was willing to deposit amounts above 5 million shillings, you were supposed to first seek clearance from this the regulator, that is the central bank, to be able to inform you and guide you on how you're going to exchange your old 1,000 notes. Now, from the recent presser that the governor had, one of the things that he said that there's a very small number of Kenyans who are transacting in millions, just giving about 24 transactions, only averaging about 3.1 that were deposited. That is for anyone depositing money above 2 million shillings, and about 58% of these transactions were below 500,000 in value, and about and up to 78% were less than 1 million shillings in value. Sam?
Thank you so much, Jimmy Mbogo, for that update. Remember, you have until 4 p.m. today to make sure that you exchange the old 1,000 Kenya shillings notes into the new generation currency notes. Right now, I would like to take you to Gatundu, and we have an update in as far as the insecurity that has been witnessed in that area is concerned. We've got our reporter, Jasmine Wamboi, who is on the ground, joining us live with an update from that region. Jasmine, good afternoon. We are made to understand there's a new sheriff in town in Gatundu.
Well, yes, we are at Gatundu South constituency, where we have seen a complete overhaul of the security officers as it was ordered by CS Interior Dr. Fred Matiang'i last week. And today we have seen the new OCPD has already got into office, and his name is Joseph Tenai, and he's from Machakos County. There's also a new OCS known as Samuel Mwangi, coming from Kiamumbi, and these officers have just a few. Those are the two top officers who are new in this constituency today. However, there are many others who have also come in today and under them, and they are going to work to ensure that the security status of this constituency has improved. However, we have also been told by the police officers here that today morning they woke up to some relative calm in the area. There's nothing that has been reported, such as killings or insecurity issues, and they are hoping that this will go on for a while. They're saying it is just a wave of insecurity that came into the constituency, and they're hoping that things change for the better. I remember just last week when CS Matiang'i was here, he ordered for a directive that all security officers to be changed. And just 2 days later, or rather a day later, 3 bodies were found on the roadside, by the roadside, and just a day later, 2 days, that's 2 days ago. And apart from that, I think there has not been any other issue in terms of insecurity. But they are hopeful that with these new changes in the area, and with also the sense of calm that has returned into this area, that things will be better. And we are hoping for the same here. Sam?
Thank you so much, Jasmine Wamboi, for that update from Gatondo. Remember, the Cabinet Secretary Interior, that is Dr. Fred Matiang'i, announced last week that those changes will be effected, and it appears that it has happened sooner than later. We'll monitor that situation and ensure that you're properly briefed. Now, parents and students of Singwaya Secondary School in Taita Taveta County have appealed for help, I beg your pardon, to build decent classrooms at the school, which uses worn-out tents as classrooms. The only iron-roofed structure in the school, which has a total of 317 students, is the administration block. Let's take a look at this story.
The challenges facing students at this makeshift school are unbearable. At times, they have to abandon school when it rains or when the sun is too hot, making the tents used as classrooms inhabitable. Salim Wago, a resident of Mitimboni, says it's difficult for the learners to attain any quality grades while learning under such deplorable conditions.
Ningeomba serikali wafanye haraka iwezekanavyo ili wasiangukie msimu wakati wa mvua ama hii upepo kali inakuja.
The rundown situation at the schools is also replicated at the neighboring Amani Primary School, where grade 6, 7 and 8 pupils are learning under dangerous conditions with the walls almost crumbling. Despite being ill-equipped, the schools also face a shortage of teachers.
The same room, unakuta watoto wengine wanaangalia ukuta nyuma na wengine wanaangalia mbele. Walimu wakiingia inakuwa inachanganya watoto. Unakuta walimu wawili wameingia kwa darasa ambaye ni darasa moja ambaye iko na 2 classes wanatakana wasome. So watoto hapo wanachanganyikiwa.
The plight of the schools comes in the wake of the ongoing crackdown on unsafe schools that has seen several learning institutions closed due to inhabitable infrastructure. Grace Mtango, K24.
To some news on the referendum, or the lack of it, where Bungoma County Governor, that is Wycliffe Wangamati, says governors will only support a referendum that will guarantee the allocation of more resources to the counties. Wangamati spoke a day after Deputy President William Ruto dismissed the Punguza Mizigo and BBI referendum initiatives, claiming they do not reflect the interests of ordinary Kenyans. Here is Anders Hachi with that report.
The Ugatuzi initiative, being championed by the Council of Governors that seeks to guarantee the allocation of more resources to the counties, becomes the latest in the growing number of efforts to review the constitution, even as Kenyans eagerly await the final report of the Building Bridges Initiative Task Force. Bungoma County Governor Wycliffe Wangamati says governors will only support an initiative that will boost the transforming of counties through the allocation of more resources to enhance service delivery and development.
They have been talking about reducing costs. Bishop, the biggest problem we have in this country is not the wage bill. The biggest problem we have in this country is corruption. Once we deal with corruption, the cost will go down. The biggest problem tunayo ni watu kujivinjari na kukula pesa za umma.
Speaking during a church service in Webuye, Bungoma County on Sunday, Wangamati took issue with those fronting constitutional amendments to expand the executive and create more positions without considering county governments.
30%, 40% of the Kenyan budget inaenda kwa mifuko za watu. That is the biggest problem. It's not about representation. That is why sisi tunasema ati mtu amuke aseme kesha yake hakuna Webuye East, hakuna Webuye West. Yeye mtakubali kweli? Haiwezekani. Sasa sisi tunasema oga put mwenye alikuja na maneno ya kupunguza mzigo, let's deal with factuals and let's deal with the issues that are affecting the people. The biggest issue that we can deal with is corruption.
His remarks come in the wake of growing debate over the possibility of a referendum, with Deputy President William Ruto dismissing the Punguza Mizigo and BBI initiatives, which he faulted for not considering the views of ordinary Kenyans.
If they are looking for ways to change the constitution, my friends, You must learn from the collapse of the Punguza Mzigo initiative that did not take into account the views of ordinary people. Ordinary people in Kenya, the ordinary people in rural places in this country know the power they have and they want to determine their destiny.
Speaking to K24 Newscat on phone, Third Way Alliance Party leader Ekuru Aukot has faulted Ruto's remarks, saying 38 counties were yet to debate the Punguza Mizigo bill, while clarifying that he had filed a court case seeking to compel Siaya and Kirinyaga County assemblies to debate the bill. Anders Ihachi, K24 Newscat.
Now, today, Principal Secretary Interior Karanja Kifisho led the National Celebrations Committee for a tour to the Mama Ngina Waterfront Park in Mombasa that will play host to the upcoming Mashujaa Day celebrations on the 20th of October this year. And right now, let's get an update in as far as how the preparations have been so far and whether or not the team was satisfied.
Kuja kushughulia hii trip yetu hapa tukiwa committee yenye inapangilia mambo ya national celebrations. Tuko hapa na wenzangu PS sports anaitwa Mkobe, mnamuona hapa, PS wa tourism Bwana Okundo tuko naye hapa, tuko na PS wa ICT, na tumekuja hapa leo kukuja kukagua vile tumetayarisha uwanja. Tumezunguka ya State House, tumezunguka hapa kwa uwanja kuja kwa hivyo tumekuwa tukishuhudia parade ya jeshi. Tumeshuhudia parade ya jeshi nchi kavu, tumeshuhudia parade ya hewa, na tumeshuhudia parade ya wanamaji. Sisi kama kamati yenye inashughulikia hii preparation tumetosheka. Kitu moja tu imebaki. Tunajua juu hapa kutakuwa na umati mkubwa sana ya wananchi. Tunataka tusiweke kwa hatari juu ya ziwa. Kwa hivyo iko ile guard tunaweka pale kwa peke yake ndio baki, alafu nyingine ni kusafisha hiyo, kuweka maua na kuwa tayari kupokea wananchi wa Mombasa na wananchi wa Kenya kwa jumla.
Pengine uuliza tu, uwanja huu kwa sasa unaweza kubeba kima cha watu wangapi? Hivyo basi wananchi ambao wanajiandaa kwa sherehe hizi waweze kujua warauke ama wafanye vipi?
Kwanza nataka kusema hii sherehe ni moja ya kati ya zile tulikuwa tukifanya devolution kutoka rais aseme hizi shughuli lekwe mashini, tunafanya kama ya CV, na wakati huu ni wakati wa Mombasa, lakini hii sherehe ni ya wananchi wa Kenya. Hii uwanja itakuwa inashikilia watu kuanzia 30,000.
And that is Karanja Kibisho, the Principal Secretary, Ministry of Interior, with an update on the ongoing preparations for the upcoming Mashujaa Day celebrations. Now, we need to take you to Mombasa and bring in our reporter, Boniface Musangi. He joins us live from this region with an update on the ongoing rescue operations for the Toyota Isis that sunk into the Indian Ocean yesterday. Boniface, thank you for joining us. Kindly update us on what you've gathered this far.
Thank you very much. We are here at the Likoni Ferry Channel, whereby yesterday at around 6:30 p.m. there is a vehicle with 3 people inside it, whereby it plunged inside the waters here. And up to now, no rescue mission have taken place here. And here with me are some of the family who have come here to see on what is going on here. And here is with me, you just tell me your name and what have you come to do here?
Okay, my name is Sheila Karembo. Na mama na mtoto ambaye wako pale ndani ni mama ni rafiki yangu wa karibu. Tumeishi pamoja, tunafanya biashara pamoja. Na ni masikitiko makuu ya kwamba 18 hours later mpaka saa hizi hakuna kitu kinachoendelea. Hakuna kitu ambacho tumeambiwa mpaka saizi. Kenya yetu. Sisi tunaona watu hapa wanafanya practice ya mashujaa. Kenya Navy. It's unfortunate that tunaambiwa Kenya Navy ndio ingie hapa kwa maji mpaka ipate order kutoka Nairobi. Sasa hii order iko Nairobi, maji iko Mombasa. Hapo wapi na wapi sasa? Maisha yanaenda hapa Mombasa, wenye wanakupeana order wako Nairobi DOD. Aya kesho tarehe 20 kuna mashujaa day hapa. Manevi wamepita hapa mpaka nikasema alhamdulillah ndio huo mtu wetu anatolewa. Lakini kwa hivyo wafanya mazoezi ya kutuonyesha ushujaa hiyo siku. Mbona wasituonyeshe ushujaa saa hizi? Wakenya wanaangalia ushujaa ambao tunataka kuiona ni saa hizi ndani ya hii maji. Training yao ni hii ndani ya hii maji. Watu waonyeshe hiyo ushujaa ndani ya hii maji sasa. Ndio tujue kweli hata hiyo mashujaa tutakanyaga kwanza. Kwa sababu sasa tunaona hii ni dhulma. Hii ni dhulma, hii ni kuonyesha kwamba Wakenya sisi hatuna say. Ningekuwa mtoto wa mkubwa ningefurahi zaidi. Kwa sababu hii feri haingekuwa inaendelea na kazi. Hapa kungekuwa kumefungwa mpaka gari itoke. Kwa mtoe Mariam na Amanda.
Asante sana. Yes, we are still pursuing this story to ensure that to see whether the Kenyan Navy will come here to try and retrieve the body from inside the waters here. From Mombasa, Boniface Msangi from Mombasa.
Thank you so much, Boniface Msangi, for that. Now, details of these and other stories will be coming your way during our subsequent bulletins right here at K24 TV. However, for now, my name is Samuel Njoroge. Have a good afternoon, and I leave you in the capable hands of Tony Kwalanda, who's coming up next with Sports Hub.